Welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. We've got a great show for you today. Before we introduce our guests, I want to go over a few things going on at Meldon Law. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, the founder and attorney at Meldon Law, and we want to tell you that we are working really hard to create the best client experience in the state of Florida, if not the country. And the purpose is when folks are in a crash, it's so aggravating. Your car's smashed up. You need to get another car. You're injured. You need to get to the doctor. You've can't go to work. You're missing paychecks. Those are the things that we know are happening, and we try to help you figure out how to solve the problems easily. We're experienced in all these different matters. We know solutions. So give us a call, 352-373-8000. Any accident or injury, we're glad to help you out. And I promise you the Ritz-Carlton experience when you contact Meldon Law. You can also go to our website, meldonlaw.com, and check us out. What's going on around town? Okay. Tuesday, March 12th, the Gator baseball team is playing Florida State. Big event. And we at Meldon Law have a Facebook page called Meldon Law. And we give away tickets for big events like this. Of course, Florida State's our huge in-state rival. They've been a great team for 40 years. And before the game, you can come to our Fan Fest tent and spin a wheel and win some great swag. We'll be there for an hour before the game, and we'll be there for the first three innings after the game starts. So check it out. March 12th, Tuesday, and the game starts at 6 o'clock. So check it out. Another big deal, Gator Gymnastics. So we just won the SEC championship, and on Friday, March 15th, is the last match of the year. So we want you to come to the O-Dome to watch the Florida Gator gymnastic team take on Iowa State. And there's going to be another Meldon Law activation there where we're going to have a tent and spin the wheel and give away. So that's Friday, March 15th. The Gator gymnastic team lost the national championship to Oklahoma last year by 1/10 of 1 point. And that's close. We beat Kentucky, which was contending for the championship for the SEC, and we beat them Friday night with the highest score we've gotten all year, which was, I think, a 198-225. In gymnastics, all the scores are near perfect. However, there's a big difference between 1/10 of a point here and 1/10 of a point there. So once you get into it, like my wife Patricia and I have, it's really fun and enjoy it. Matheson History Museum celebrating their 30th anniversary Friday, March 9th. It's a sock hop at the former American Legion Hall on University Avenue in Gainesville. And this is the American Legion Hall where folks like Tom Petty, his first band, the Sundowners, appeared there. I know Don Felder played there with the Mondi Quintet. He was in the Eagles with Bernie Ledden, and I think Steve Sills may have performed there. So there's lots of legendary musicians that are world famous that have been at this American Legion Hall. So check it out. It was a place where everybody got together and played played music, had a good time, and had parties on the weekend. Also, Spring Rum Boogie is coming up April 7th in Fort White, Florida. the Rum Spring Boogie is going on from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Rum 138 in Fort White. Those of you that are out there know that it's really fun. They're doing a show that they got cover bands inspired by the Grateful Dead. So all you Deadheads out there, check it out. And I think you'll have a fun time. Rum 138 is pretty cool. And one of our new partners, Ronald McDonald House Charities, by University of Florida Health, Cheyenne's Hospital, April 7th, they're raising money for their brand new Ronald McDonald Center, which takes care of families whose children are in the cancer unit, the leukemia unit, that are many situations. It's so sad because you're terminal patients or hoping to get survival after being released. And the Ronald McDonald House takes care of the families for free, puts them in apartments that they have in their central building, and takes care of the whole family, mom and dad, other siblings. And it's just amazing because when your child is sick and your life's been turned upside down, and you have to stay for 2 weeks or a month or 2 months or some even 4 or 5 months, the cost can be prohibitive. Your life's been turned upside down. And the Ronald McDonald House has been here for many years. We need your support, though. The McDonald's Burger House only contributes, I think, 18% to supporting the budget. So it's really important for us to help the Cheyenne's Hospital and all they do for children. So Embers is the steakhouse that's catering the event. It's wine, all these great wines. If you want to get in touch, you can call 352-374-4404, 352-374-4404, and or just go to their website. It's so it's Ronald McDonald House Central. It looks like North Central Florida. So it's rmhcncf.org is their website. Or just put in Ronald McDonald House Gainesville. That's in Google it, and you'll find it. But we love them over at the Ronald McDonald House. And you can have a great time with a variety of terrific wines as well as first-class food. If you know about Embers, it's a really awesome steakhouse. So we're going to have a good time there. That's about it for what's happening in the community. Gator baseball is exciting. They beat Miami 2 out of 3 games this past weekend, and we love our Gator softball team as well. If you want tickets for softball or Gator baseball, just go to our Facebook page under Meldon Law, and you'll get it all. So that's what's going on. We're going to take a short break, play a few of our lovely spots, and we're going to welcome our guests, Kim and Rob Coddington with Seabreeze Art. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit? At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
I was going down a one-way street and a girl that was driving her car T-boned me on my scooter. I ended up going for an MRI and discovering that I had 2 herniated discs. Coming to Cary allowed me to not have to worry about what doctor I was going to see or what physical therapist I had to go to. They say, these are the people we trust. You're going to have a great experience there, and I honestly did each time.
Call Meldon Law. Your consultation is absolutely free.
I was driving behind a lady, and very suddenly she moved out of the way. There was a log laying in the road, and when I hit my brakes, I went on top of the log. I had 280 discs. I just haven't been the same since. Jeffrey Meldon fought for me all the way. Him and his team really went there for me. Throughout the whole lawsuit, he made sure that my bills was paid. It was never no whenever I called him and asked him for something.
Call Meldon Law right now.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon, because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Call Meldon Law right now.
Hey, Sammy, look who's there. Say hi.
Hey!
You again.
Meldon Law, Jeffrey speaking.
Jeffrey! Somebody else hit us here.
Here we go again. Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, founder and attorney at Meldon Law. Thank you for your support over the years. We've been serving North Central Florida since 1971 and have expanded to the entire state of Florida now. So if anybody has got an accident and injury, please give us a call. We will deliver the best client experience of any law firm around these parts. I promise you. Our guests today are Kim and Rob Coddington with Seabreeze Art. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
So you guys do all this amazing artwork. We're surrounded by it now.
Yes.
And it's really neat because you incorporate glass and other artifacts and create this amazing artwork.
Yes. All of it is either crushed glass or shells or other embellishments. Hand-cut vases is what made the sails for the sailboats, and we incorporate the resin with it.
So I want to hear your story, how you got started, and a little bit about your journey.
So a couple of years ago, a friend of mine invited me to Homosassa for a resin on glass class. And I went and had a great time. The instructor at that time was moving to St. Augustine. And so I came home and I told Rob, I said, I have found the best hobby. And I started making resin on glass pieces. And
then we started having tractor trailers and all this showing up at the house, dropping off all kind of stuff. But actually, she was getting really excited with it. So I started sitting out there in the garage with her, just watching her make this stuff, and she was getting really good with it. And it's like, I might as well try something. So she showed me how to do it, how to work with it, and all that. And I made my first piece. Like, this is pretty cool. So we started playing around with it, and then eventually. I started thinking, I said, there's a lot of people around this area right here that would probably enjoy having a workshop set up, something where you can come to where you don't make a mess at the house, because this stuff can get messy. Everything's right there. You don't have to go and buy this and buy that, hundreds of pieces that you need to make, one piece. And so I've kind of floated the idea of doing some classes or workshops, like what we like to call them. We don't really like to call them classes because we work together when they come to our house. We're working together to achieve a piece of art. So I don't like to say we're a teacher and we have students. I like to say that we're doing a workshop and we have fun and create art together.
Now you started out in the villages and then wound up moving over to Wildwood because you were doing so good.
That's correct.
That's correct. Yeah. The first class we had in the garage was word of mouth. 6 people showed up. And it blossomed from there. And it got so big that we rented a spot just to see if it was something that would continue the momentum. And it did. And so we found a house in Wildwood that has an in-home studio in it already. So that's where we hold the classes now.
So if I'm interested in getting involved with you, Seabreeze Art, how do we contact you?
So we have a Facebook page, and that is Seabreeze Art FL on Facebook. And there we list all of our classes. We have the dates and times. We actually offer 3 different classes right now. We do the resin on glass. We do the charcuterie board ocean waves. It's very popular. And then we do the...
I love that.
Something similar to that. And then we do beach waves, which is similar to this picture back here. We also have a website that they can register, and that's www.seabreezeartfl.com.
Great.
So, yeah.
Now you have all the materials there for people to work with.
That's correct. When they sign up for a workshop, the price includes all of the materials. They don't. What I tell them is just bring your creativity. If you don't have creativity, it doesn't matter. You'll still leave with a great piece of art.
Yeah, well, it's kind of neat when somebody creates their own art because they've injected themselves into the piece, right?
Exactly, and that's what I tell people, because the thing that we hear most often is, I'm not crafty, I can't do this, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Those are usually the people that make the best art because they don't have the going into it, the expectations, the perfection, the OCD, whatever. They go into it. If it turns out great, they're happy. If it doesn't, they're happy. And 9 times out of 10, it's one of the best pieces.
So now, tell me what it's like there. I mean, do we have wine and beer around and stuff?
So yes, we do allow people to bring their beverages, and we've had in the open classes, we've had people bring wine. We've had in the private classes, people bring their shots. They have a good time. It's very social, very friendly. We don't want anybody to ever be intimidated. If you want to come by yourself, you'll meet a room full of friends if you do.
Who takes care of the music?
Well, we have an Alexa for that.
I know. Alexa, play some nice music. Who do you want to hear, right?
Exactly.
I always get messed up, though, because we have Alexa and we have Siri and we have Hey Google and all that. Yes. And I wind up walking around the house trying to figure out who I'm talking to.
Exactly.
We all do that.
Saturday Night Live did a funny thing on that about, a skit a few weeks ago just about how, they need to have Alexa and Google and all this for older people that can't remember all the passwords and the names and how you communicate. Hey, Google! And if you get close, it knows you're older and you.
You.
Got that voice recognition going on.
Or something like that. Yeah. So anyhow, getting back to Seabreeze Art, I find it fascinating because particularly in Wildwood and the Villages neighborhood, there's so many people that are young at heart, have a lot of energy, and they may be retired. However, they really they're looking for things to do.
Yes.
Yep.
And honestly, that's probably I'd say about 80% of our customer base at this time. You have a lot of people that has a lot of time on their hands, and you have a lot of people like to create things. They have clubs and stuff all over the Villages, but for something a little different, we're outside the norm, and that gives them an opportunity to be creative and all that. There's also ways when we do piece, say if we do like a resin on glass, for talking about creativity, I'm not the most creative. I can't sit there and just come up with certain things. I can, but to lay it out is one thing. But we have aids to help with that. So say if we're doing an 8x10 or 11x14 resin on glass piece, we have templates that go behind it. So if somebody want to do a palm tree or something like that with something else, we have templates go behind it to give them an idea how to lay the glass out. And then once they get the basic down, they do their thing with it to get what they want. So,
that's great.
And we don't say, okay, here's what you're going to do today. You
Yeah.
know, when it comes to that, now on the charcuterie board or something like that, then there's certain things that it's going to be like an ocean type theme or something like that. But when it comes to the resin on glass, they can do anything they want, and they have access to everything we have in the
Yep.
showroom.
So on the charcuterie board, what do? You put the charcuterie on the resin part, and on the wood part you do the cutting?
Well, as far as cutting, we don't recommend to cut too much because if you do, you're going to scratch the finish on the resin.
Right.
But as far as, so it's more like a display board, charcuterie board. So if everything's cut up and already laid out, it's simple as that. So you can put your dishes and stuff like that on there. Now, people always ask us, can you eat right off of that or right off the resin? Well, and I have to say this every time, but in the federal government's in its infinite wisdom, I always say this in every class, says that once the resin is fully cured, it becomes an inert plastic. And once it's an inert plastic, then it's okay for incidental food contact. Now, we suggest other options. One thing we like to do is when we actually set up for something for us or for a class or open house, something like that, we like to wrap it in clear saran wrap. That way there's no food contact directly on it, but you can still see the design. And also when you're finished, there's no cleanup. You take that right off. And
Well, we love our charcuterie boards at home. Now we're going to have to
Yes.
get with y'all and fancy
go.
them up a little bit, okay?
Yes.
So I know you're doing some craft festivals.
Yes.
Ocala Spring and Arts Festival, Spring Arts and Craft Fair. That's out at World Equestrian Center.
Yes.
So the March 16th and 17th. So
That's
that
correct.
should be a big deal, right?
It's a very big deal. This is the first year that, when we started this process, we were looking at it as giving classes. I enjoy making the art, and the classes just blossomed so fast that kind of took a back seat. So now we're focusing on getting our artwork out there because we love making it. And so this is the first year that we're actually entering into these arts and craft festivals so that we can sell what we make. So it's exciting. This is actually going to be our first craft fair that we are attending. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, that's great. And you can also promote your business at the same time,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So y'all want to make this stuff, we'll teach you how to make it.
That's
If you don't
right.
want to buy it, we can get you involved in the class.
That's right, yep.
And WEC is pretty cool out there.
I'm excited. I've never been, so I'm excited.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm
Oh,
excited.
my gosh.
Yeah.
No, it's like the Disney World for horse people.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And what was neat is they built these huge arenas around it that they could use for horse presentation. However, they have huge places where they do shows and all kinds of shows. Meldon Law has been involved out there a bunch. They have the home show and all these, and it fills up this arena, and they do a great job of really showcasing the people that are participating, and they have great food and drink and everything, so it turns into a big party.
Well, I'm excited. Yeah.
Okay?
We're definitely
So
looking forward to it.
And then you're going to be down in Tarpon Springs
Yes.
in April 27th.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then we go to downtown Venice,
Yep.
June 15th and 16th. And then back to the villages right after July 4th,
Yes.
July 6th and 7th at the Brownwood Arts and Crafts Festival. So that'll be
Yes.
cute. So you guys are going to be busy. And this is your first kind of tour, right?
It is. It really
Okay.
is. So yeah, we jumped in with both feet. So we're excited.
The Coddingtons and Seabreeze Art are on a roll.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it's going to be really fun because I think it's cool being a craftsperson and getting your art out there and getting feedback. And the fact that you actually have a business makes it even better because you may wind up signing up a bunch of people
Yes.
at some of these where they go, oh, I like to make my own.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. And that's the good thing about our classes is they're an introductory or an introduction into the resin. That's the one thing that people do ask, because when they come into our studio, we do have our art hanging, and they're, I want a class for this, I want a class for that. Our classes are introductions into that resin world and into mixing the mica, and what they do with it, they can take it as far as they want.
It's almost unlimited.
Yeah.
So what makes the resin artwork unique?
So it's the melding of different media. It's the crushed glass, it's the shells, and the fact that you don't have to truly be artistic, not taking away from the arts, but I can't draw a stick figure. There's no way I could, draw a portrait or anything like that. But with this, you can be as creative as your mind lets you. I mean, it's the best thing if you want to create something, but not have the talent of a portrait artist or a landscaper.
Well, there's tactile art, and then there's art, where you're drawing, and there's art, so everybody has different talents.
Yes.
And you may be great at putting these pieces together, but, you're not a drawer.
Exactly. And that's what I love about it.
So, we want to welcome everybody to check it out. It's Seabreeze Art FL for Florida .com. So Seabreeze Art FL.com. Facebook page is Seabreeze Art FL. And, it's really a cool program. I'm excited. You can accommodate up to 12 people in your studio. And it sounds like something that you incorporate and make fun.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So talk about some of these fun parties you're having. What goes on?
A lot of times we'll do private classes. That's probably one of the biggest things we do is the private classes. And private classes, when we ask for people to sign up for them, have a minimum of 6 people there and a maximum of 12. And if they have and that gives them an incentive as well. If they get 6 people, then they get half off their artwork, the person that sponsors it or
Hosts the party.
Hosts the party. If they get 12 people and sells it out, they get theirs for free. Nice thing about it, they can bring in their wine or beverages. Every once in a while, someone will bring in something fun like Fireball or something like that. And
But it's their friends,
But it's friends,
so
so
everybody knows everybody, and it's a little more laid back and relaxed. And
they can cut up. And I'm going to find somebody to pick on in the crowd. I can always find somebody that I can have a little fun with, And especially if they come back at me, that makes it fun. And we try to lift up the spirits and just have a good time, have everybody laughing. We want this to be an experience. It's not you're coming in here, we're going to make this and that, and just put something out and go hang it on the wall or whatever. This is going to be an experience.
You're not working in a factory to make a living.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We're coming here to have a good time, and we're going to show you how to be really creative.
Exactly.
And I love these pieces. I mean, what do we call this one with
So that would be resin on glass, and that's one of the things that's indicative of what our classes would entail, or workshops I like to call them would entail. And so when they come in, we have basically 3 shelves or rack systems full of just different crushed glass, different like turtles and embellishments and things, shells and everything else, And some of the shells we get off the beaches, stuff like that.
We are in Florida, right?
That's right.
Hey, business trip, right?
Yeah, but this is cool. Now, these frames are pre-made, right?
Yes, they are.
And with the back and all.
Yep.
And do they work with the frame here, or do you insert the glass after it's done?
No, so the glass is actually, we secure that to the frame. And so when they come in, their glasses, the frame's already prepared, and they work on the front of the frame, and they lay out their artwork first. So whether it's the glass, shells, if they use a template to draw out their design, whatever, all of that's done first. And then the last step is the mixing of the resin, and that's poured over everything, and that's what secures it in place.
So you pour the resin over this.
Right.
How do you keep the resin from getting on the frame?
Well, that's good. That's a good question. Now, in a classroom setting or a workshop setting, we use frames, special frames that we like because they have a solid white finish. And basically, if you spill any on a frame, it's simple as wiping it off. Now, one that you have in your hand right there would be a little trickier because if you spill a little bit on that one, it's going to stain. So we use a special frame that way until people get used to it. You know, because you're going to make a mess the first time because it's hard to just if you've never done it when you're doing the drizzling off the stick. It's trying to meter it and all that kind of stuff. It's a learning experience, so you're going to make a little bit of a mess. So
And sometimes it just adds to the piece.
There you go. There you go. That's it.
There you go. Well, I kind of like that. You know, we went outside the lines.
Yes, yes.
Which is what you guys encourage. It's like, let's be
Exactly.
creative. And these pieces are awesome. The sails,
you.
for those of you listening, you can't see them, but they're really, really beautiful pieces, and they embody the spirit of Florida.
Yes.
Which is why we call it Seabreeze.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, and so anyhow, it's great having you guys here. I'm going to go through contact information again, seabreezeartfl.com, or Facebook will be Seabreeze Art FL, and just give a call to Kim and Rob Coddington at Seabreeze Art. You can tell already they're going to make it fun. It's easy. And the most important thing is get a group of friends together,
That's right.
call,
Yep.
and you can, call it whatever you want and make it into a party.
That's right.
That's
right.
what it
Girls'
is, really.
night, birthdays, whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah,
shebang.
The whole shebang.
Well, thank you very much for joining us,
Well,
and
thank
we
you for
look
having us.
forward to staying in touch. And we love our clients down in the villages,
Yes.
and we already have an office in Ocala, and we'll probably open one in the villages pretty soon because we
Nice.
have so many nice people
Sure.
down there that we've been representing. So thank you again for joining us on Meldon Law and Friends, and thank you very much for listening and watching the program today, and we'll be back next week.